Yeah, we'll get through it really quick, won't we? Right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Swaffham Council meeting. Fire drill. I don't think there is anybody that does know fire drill, but if you do need help, please ask and we'll help you out. But there's no alarm expected, but if it does go off, you know what that can do. Prayer interview. Oh, yeah.
The Lord guide us not to have a spirit filled with pride and self-importance, but to have a spirit of humility. Teach us not to be arrogant. The self-exaltation is an abomination to you, Lord. Help us to be humble and gracious in every interaction, patient, loving and kind. Thank you for your mercy whenever we fall short, and help us to serve you and others before we serve ourselves. Amen.
Thank you. Apologies for absence.
Got Councillor Pickard, Councillor Skinner, Councillor Cooper. They've all submitted apologies. Councillor Eve said he might be slightly late, so he'll be here soon. And Caroline, Councillor Ellerbeck, is absent.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. No others at all. I think it covers everybody, doesn't it? You see the declarations of interest. Has everybody got any declarations of interest they should declare? Yeah. To receive and agree the minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 11th of September. Everybody read this? Let's do it.
I've got a question on the meeting, the previous meeting, the extraordinary meeting, where the minutes were altered
Yes,
because I'd asked to present
they've
something
been put in the
at the
minutes.
following meeting, but it doesn't say that I was actually prevented from having the item on the agenda by the mayor.
Right, I'll put that in.
Can that
We
be
did
added
it that one minute, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, Paul, but
Facts are facts. Anybody else got anything they want to raise? Could I have something approved? Opposed. Seconds to it, yeah. Lindsay second. Whatever, whichever way around you like. All those happy with the minutes? Yeah. Unanimous. See the reports from County Council. We've had a written report from County Councillor William Nunn. I think it's quite interesting one. Anybody want to make any comments on it at all?
Brilliant.
John, I thought you.
No, I was. If William had been here, I could have tackled him about it. Interesting article in the newsletter that Norfolk County Council sent round to say what they're doing. One particular thing caught my eye. Councillor Kay Mason, leader of Norfolk County Council and member of the Greater Norwich Growth Board. It's fantastic to see progress being made on this new road reality to make a real difference for long-suffering commuters and residents in this particular place. It's set to create hundreds of new jobs and homes. That is Long Stratton.
Yeah.
The same would apply here, wouldn't it? I mean, long-suffering. That's why I would like to raise it, you know, as an issue that we pursue, because it's just, we've got other ones. There's West Winch bypass. This is on the basis that they've done a proper business case for Long Stratton. I don't see why a business case can't be worked up for a bypass around Swaffham, considering all the problems we have.
I'm sure we'd all agree with you. I don't think anybody would not agree with you on that. How we go about it, I'm not sure. I take advice from the clerk.
Well, we need to email William first and maybe arrange a meeting with him. What would you have said to him?
Well, I'd like a meeting with the leader of the council, the county council.
Yeah.
Yeah, and invite her here to see we've got very similar problems to Long Stratton. So what is the difference?
Should I ask? I'll email William Dunn and see if we can arrange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graham.
Right, yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of.
Hold on, Paul.
Sorry.
You're all right, oh boy. Just one thing, I believe that Long Stratton, if you like, the price they've paid for this is to have 4,000 more homes.
No,
And Eastwich is very similar.
it's 1,600 to 1,800 homes.
Okay, a lot more homes.
Yeah, but we've had nearly 1,000 already that it just piled onto our road network with no care. We'll get up those sort of numbers
Yeah.
in the next few years. I mean, we've got to make the most of if we're going to be asked to take those sort of numbers in future. We've got to have some responsibility from other authorities to provide for the infrastructure of this town.
I'm sure it'd be a good topic. I know in the past we really have gone into this in some detail and that in the past, and we've had groups that have tried to get things off the ground, but it hasn't really achieved anything. But I'm quite happy for us to have another go. But David, sorry.
I mean, quickly read through what William Dunn said, and basically was saying that the expansion of this northern solar farm is going to pave the way for obviously more building in that area as well. So that's not going to really help the situation what you were saying there.
Well, that'd be more traffic coming up and down this one.
That
Right, so like-
shouldn't be a long way along, doesn't it? It's going to stop the town. But
We're going to experience more and more development, which we won't be able to stop because Brecon and Knight putting more and more development here without thinking of our infrastructure.
I think we can't really go into much more detail on it, but if we get the clerk to write to William, then hopefully we can get some officers, press leader and press council officers from county highways to perhaps come and meet us here, and we can sort of put some of the ideas and flesh some of it out.
Yeah, I think
How far it get, who knows?
maybe William was also making the point that we had quite a large proportion of solar in this county, which was above and beyond the needs of our share from the whole country.
Yeah.
And they're trying to shove that on us as well. So
I'm going to sort of try and bring that under late item, the solar, if you could leave that till then.
Yes, I just want to say the report that William put in, which I had to speed read, I think I got it right, that the new solar farm puts us well in Norfolk above any other part of the country for net zero health.
Yeah.
And I've got to commend the man for saying that, I'm sorry, we need to grow crops and things on our prime arable land, not just providing energy for everyone else. So I've got to say, it was a good report.
We're going to a little bit more detail when we come to a late item, okay? Is that
It was
okay?
on his report. and I
Yeah,
thought I'd just
yeah,
mention that.
appreciate that, yeah. So anything else under Norfolk County Council? Yeah, we've got Breckland representatives and is it, Judy?
Yeah, I'll start. Just a couple of things. Some of you may or may not know, but the agent has actually visited the Old Hammond School today. It's been a lot of to and fro to try and move some of this forward, and he has been asked to make secure the following issues: all of the ground floor windows and door openings, the upper floor doors to the gym, signs, and locks, to ensure that nobody has access either in there or on the flat roof, and to board over the front gate railings as well, so that nobody can get a foothold to enter the building. So hopefully, as he's been out today, things may move forward on securing it. Just to say that the Padley appeal, which is on November the 20th, I am attending that in support of the developer. I believe Councillor Scott is representing the town council on that one. If we could sort of meet up before then, so we don't both say the same thing, that would be good. And just a point to note, and I know some of you see all the planning applications every week, but there has certainly been a big drop in applications. And today, the list through, there was 3 for the whole of Breckland.
Just to say the padlock as well, of the grammar school had been snapped off.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Jason,
just on
Dave.
planning with the local plan, you might have seen that Breckland's had to make the decision to pause the local plan process. The new government's putting forward a revised national planning policy. As part of that, they're proposing to increase yearly new homes target for Breckland from I think 600 and something to 970. So all the process you'll see they've gone through in terms of the call for sites and putting forward Breckland's preferred sites, that's likely going to all have to be repeated because we're going to have to meet a much higher sort of yearly housing target. So I think that's probably early next year we'll have a clearer picture on that. Council's also launched a new healthy home service. So this is using central government money. And this is going to be focused on sort of private tenants and landlords. So there's going to be a few different parts to it. There's going to be Breckland officers investigating damp and mould reports in private rented homes. There's going to be the opportunity for tenants to ask for data loggers to do with sort of humidity levels. And there's going to be sort of drop-in clinic for the landlords and tenants on keeping healthy homes. So I'll send that round by an email, but just a brief outline on that.
No, nothing to add. Thank you.
Should we have nothing from David?
Not at the moment, thank you. Nothing
Okay.
specifically
Perhaps then, sorry.
Will the the imminent changes to the housing target for the local plan, is that likely to influence getting a SIL on board?
So when I've asked about this before, because it was raised with me not too long after being elected, and I did look into it and spoke with the director of planning at Breckland, and admittedly that had been done a couple of years before, but their sort of exercise had shown that they would get more money from Section 106 agreements than they would from infrastructure levy system.
Just to add to that, I've been in constant email exchanges with Simon Wood about this very subject. If you look at other districts around the place, I somewhat dispute the fact that 106 gives us more money. SIL, I believe, provides an opportunity for individual areas, individual councils, individual areas to actually get the money up front for a start, very simply based on so much per property built. And it's a much less complicated method than 106, where, as we all know, my 8 years on Swaffham Town Council tells me, the problems we had, for example, with Tesco, that development, and the 106 expires after 5 years. And we, as a council, had to apply for an extension to get that 106 money because we went beyond the 5 years. SIL is much simpler, and a member of the public, who I won't mention at the moment, is so enthused with the SIL possibilities that certainly personally I won't stop badgering Simon Wood to get a decision where they would at least consider it. At the moment, it's being just pushed to one side.
Sorry, I would just add to that, and that's not to mention that with a neighbourhood plan, we would actually get a chunk of that money.
Yeah. And you would get it up front, not waiting for 5 years. And it makes the process much simpler. Sorry, John.
it makes the process much simpler because you have to provide your list, your 106 list up front, of what you're going to actually spend that money on. And that quite clearly doesn't work as well as I've, in my humble opinion, having looked into it quite deeply as well as Sil would. So from my personal perspective, the battle will continue anyway.
John. But the other thing about SILS is it lets you take a strategic view of the infrastructure that's required. At the moment with section 106, we've got piecemeal development that is all just considered in its own little sphere without any consideration of the incremental issues that it arises in on the greater infrastructure of the town. With SILS, you could take all that into account and proportion it to all new developments that occur around the town.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, one other thing, a good example, I won't mention the development that it comes from, but the Swaffham Library was on the 106 list to spend a certain amount of money on Swaffham Library. This is going back probably maybe a couple of years now. And to date, only 10% of that money has actually been spent. So what happens to the 90% balance? It's sitting in coffers somewhere. It's not being spent on the way that even the 106 money was supposed to be spent. Thank you.
Thanks. I've got one. Just I saw on the report today that the demolition of the old Stigwin Arts has been turned down, and I just wondered if you got any comments on that at all.
No, I mean I probably was one of the first to spot it because initially there was a small white notice about as big as that on the fence, and of course Lidl was right down the bottom in very small letters. But I wasn't aware that it'd been turned down today.
Yeah, it's been refused. The demolition's been refused apparently by Bregland.
On what grounds?
I don't know. That's why I was trying to find out.
I did look it up. It's
Where was that? It's just it hasn't appeared on it. We get a weekly list.
It's because they didn't give a plan for how they were going to manage asbestos.
Oh, right.
The traffic management plan, they haven't done any of that, so that's what's.
It wasn't actually a planning application.
No.
It's like a detail,
Yeah.
essentially.
I expect they will get it eventually, but Stuart.
Yeah, just to David, really.
Yes.
The comment on the libraries.
Yes.
The way I understood it was the 106 money goes into a great big pot
Yes, it does.
and it doesn't ever get spent in Swaffham because ours is free for basically. But it does go to Norwich and all the other cities in all the country, but not in Swaffham.
Well, that may be the case, but in this particular situation, even if it was that, it still hasn't been spent.
Oh no,
It's still
it's
sitting there.
shared.
Yeah.
That's the way I understood it anyway.
Nothing else on Bregland.
No.
No. We go at the police. Obviously, no representative here. No report from the police.
No.
No. Go on to the public open forum. We've got 15 minutes. Any public to address on any level, the county, district, or what's the town? So, could you say your name, please?
I just wanted to introduce myself, Barry Hobbs. I'm currently the mayor of Downbark. Really just here to look at things like best practice, see how you do things. You're welcome to come over and see how we do things. So I'm just here to observe, that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for coming and appreciate you coming. I hope you like what you see. I don't know, we're not too bad a bunch, but yeah, can't say any more than that. Really. Anybody else from the public? Sue usually has something. David, sorry. You're hiding up.
I suppose I better tell you who I am. No, in all seriousness, I may not have done my homework as much as I might have done. However, my question is really simply, has Swaffham Town Council considered and made a decision as to their approach or attitude to charging for car parking in the town? Thank you.
I know we've just gone live with it or going live with
So
the
we-
survey. Yeah.
So we've got our own public consultation going live for 2 weeks. So that we can answer the Brecon consultation that comes out in November. That's where we are at the
But no
moment.
formal decision has been made by the council itself until that consultation, your own
Consultation hasn't come out yet,
No, but once your consultation comes out, yeah,
then we can see
Okay,
what
that's
Brecon,
fine.
yeah.
good answer, thank you.
Yeah.
Sure.
At the last full council, I had a discussion with Jacob regarding that, and the decision regarding charging has already been made.
It has.
It has. That this is the muddle because Brecon has decided it's going to charge. We are going to possibly alter the finer points. But when Brecon decided it was going to charge, the way I read the paperwork and understood it was we was going to be consulted on whether they charge or not. But the decision had already been made,
Correct.
which is very unfortunate because we are one of the market towns that gets affected. And it would be
Seriously
nice
affected.
if we was actually consulted on whether we're charging or not to start with. As I believe Dereham and every other market town has decided that we didn't want it.
Well, in fact, if you read the minutes of the last Brecon full council meeting, and I shall probably say something at the council meeting next week as well, I actually asked the leader again because I was absolutely thrown off balance by the fact that he was suggesting or stating, sorry, not suggesting, stating that charges were going to be made. And the point I made, which is in the council minutes, is that A, it's the wrong way round. Consultation comes first, then you decide. And secondly, Watton is a good example. They had a petition in Watton, an official petition, sanctioned by the town council in Watton, and 3,500 signatures, which were presented to the chief executive of Brecon prior to the last council meeting. And I just think I just couldn't believe, sorry, Jake, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Because I actually said, did I hear the leader correctly in terms of what he said? And you're absolutely right. He said, yes, you did hear me correctly. We are going to charge. And I just, nothing else I could add to it. I'm just flabbergasted by it, to be honest.
John. Yeah, back in July, was it, or June, this issue started to bubble up on local social media, and we got wind of it. And I tried to raise it here, but I was told, oh no, there's going to be a consultation. And the next thing you know, they've taken the decision. We didn't get to discuss it. We should have discussed it at the time. That's what I wanted to do. But we've told, no, there's going to be leave it until the consultation comes out. In the meantime, they pass a decision to charge. Like you say, it's wrong way round.
I don't want to go on too much on this at the moment, but we did know right from the word go that the consultation would only be on the way it was done and how it was introduced. Yes, because it was a state of complaint that they had already decided they were going to introduce the car parking. I believe that is a fact. Anyway, it's not on the agenda for tonight, but once when we get the results of the Survey Monkey, we can make a decision on which way we can go and how this council replies to it. I think it's a bit too early to sort of put in any sort of comment at the moment until we get to that consultation stage with them. So if you want to add anything to that, Stuart,
the decision was made prior to any form of press release whatsoever. We didn't get a say in it.
No.
I just want to out in the open that Swaffham Town Council did not get a map. Maybe we should suggest when they have the consultation that the first 8 hours of any day for parking ticket is free. There you go. Make a point.
I don't know how that's going to happen, but that's got to be debated, isn't it? The fact that the charging was going to happen and was was done anyway, but I don't want to go into too much more detail as well.
Fine, we're hijacking the public's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just
Anything new, John?
I know it's taken over the public sea, but why is it taking so long to consult? I mean, what's going on?
That's I don't know if any
straightforward, shouldn't it? Why are we waiting so long for a
I
consult?
believe it was November.
November, we expect.
Yeah, November.
November, but that's when was it the decision taken? July to November, or August. It was something like that.
It's August.
So long. I think what they're doing is thinking up the questions that they'll get the answers to that they want.
Yeah, so that's that Tories.
No doubt this will be debated a few more times in the future. Okay, anybody else from the public want to say anything? I think. Yes, of course,
Can I perhaps just change the subject for a second?
Yeah.
We have car parking issues.
Yeah.
Which are ongoing and have been ongoing for months. But I, we're looking at places like Ely where you can park for 3 hours
Mhm.
in the morning between, I think it's 7:30 and 10:30. But you can't park beyond that. So you can't just leave your car using a shopping car parking space in the town and then go off and catch a train. You don't have the train problem here.
No.
Different situation. What I actually wanted to stand up and say was, did you know there's an open mic night coming up on the 18th of October at the town hall in Downham Market? And any of you who may be budding musicians, poets, something else.
I'll rescue the place by this.
Please come along. It's only £5 entry and it all goes to Downham Dementia.
Thank you.
That's the next charity this year. But yes, if you want to come along and have a go, you're very welcome.
Sure, everybody's got the I'll make a note of that. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
6 o'clock till 9.
Yeah.
I won't take up any more of your time.
You're all right, no. Nobody else? Right, we go back into session then. You see the report from the mayor, that's me, I think. The events I've attended is on the 13th of September, the Norwich Battle of Britain ceremony, that was very good. Then on the 15th at Thetford, we had the Battle of Britain service. On the 22nd, the Royal British Legion dedication of their new standard. That was at Feltwell. That was very, very good. They've done really good. There's lots and lots of people turned out for that. Chairman's, Crane's Garden Builds their 50 years celebration. I just thought that was very interesting. It's surprising how much goes on that site. They make all that. They've got about 4 or 5 branches throughout the UK where they sell from. But all the sheds are made in here. And really, and we've had to look around the factory. They had this new spray thing going, and it was really interesting how they do it. Everything comes in virtually machined, and they just cut it to lengths and assemble it, and off it goes to wherever. You know, it was really, really interesting evening sort of thing. I think.
Yeah, they've really thrived since the pandemic, I think.
And they employ over 100 people on that site, which, you know, for Swapham, that is brilliant in my mind. Obviously, I think a lot of the other people did attend as well. As the Harvest Festival, the Scarecrow, that went down really well. I saw a lot of people coming out and talk to them as I was coming out the door, and all of them were really appreciative of how it went and how good it was. So well done to the people that organised that. And I look at Judy and the team and that for getting that off the ground. It was very good. We need some more events like that in the town.
Mhm.
So thanks very much for doing that. That's it. All the ones we've got. Thank you. Dan Clark, update on items not on the agenda.
So just I had an update with Joe Warburton this week about the project that we are partnering with Bretland and Historic England. Just wanted to remind us that it's only one of 3 projects funded by Historic England throughout the UK. He has commissioned an evaluation team called Rose Regeneration, who are commissioned to give the regeneration of the town. And they will be giving us an annual update. Joe's going to produce weekly blogs, but he's also been to give a short presentation to other market towns who would like this for their own towns, the other 5 towns. He's happy to come and give us a verbal update to councillors, which I think we ought to have, because it's been running for 6 months.
Yeah.
So if you're happy, I'd like to organise that. So we can give you a full report. One of the events, as Paul said, was the Harvest and Scarecrow Fair. We had 500 attendees, 65 scarecrows were submitted from care homes, school, community groups, members of the public. The workshop included corn dollies, wreath making, a live Wurzel Gummidge and Aunt Sally.
Very good.
Thanks to, as I say, to Judy and Phoebe, and I seen you for getting that off the ground. And then there's Artisan Fair planned for next August and Ness. There's a Ness. Cemetery signage has now been completed. Annie's garden has now been completed as well. The barn's tidied. A schedule of condition was completed. Me and Graham met with the 2 representatives of the Fountain of Life. We are just waiting for their legal team to sort the lease, but we are ready to go. The outside team have redone the stairwell. That's been painted. The ceiling board was fixed. And we're just having a annual electric and fire light test. And then that's it.
It looks very, very good. If I don't know how many people have been in there, but it looks really good. It's used. I would say it's usable. The parts of it are usable, except for the obviously the problems with the disabled getting upstairs, but the other parts of it are very much usable, I would think.
Well, we've also been speaking about the youth council. We're trying to get some kids on board. I spoke to one of the lads from the skate park, he's I think the age group that are missed, and they're like the 16 to 18-year-olds. And he said one thing that's missing that they would really like is a pool table and a darts board, which would have been perfect upstairs in the barn. Because he said if it's raining and they want to go somewhere, they have to go to the Greyhound, and some of them don't drink, and it's also expensive. So that's something that I think we should push forward. But we've visited Little School. We're going to the other one, Hammond's in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we have got some names interested, so we're just going to keep pushing with that and trying to get that off the ground.
Yeah, my mare cadet did accompany me to the British Legion dedication of the flag a couple of weeks ago. Good, sorry.
Helen, you touched on the Fountain of Life.
Yeah.
Any actual update on when their legal team are actually going to get back to us? Because we've had 2 emergency meetings we will have to attend.
Yep.
We
yep.
rushed it all through so that they could be in, but all of a sudden they don't appear to be in that much of a rush.
That's
Is there
all I
is
can
there
tell
going
you.
to be
They're
a
waiting.
problem with it, or?
All I know is that they're waiting for their legal team to look at the documents. I think
Because it's been like 6 weeks, 7 weeks
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
We're pushing 2 months worth of potential.
well,
Very
their legal
potential
team
wait.
asked for the schedule of condition last Tuesday, which I promptly sent straight back. So there was no delay from us whatsoever.
No, I'm saying we put ourselves out for them and they. Sorry.
Graham and then Graham.
Which one's first?
Whichever.
I'll fight you.
Well, mine's short. That's not one really. When we had that meeting, Helen, we were told that one of the top guys was on holiday, wasn't he? And that will probably be, no, Paul was there.
Was he?
No,
Yeah.
he'd been on holiday and hadn't pushed it, and then their solicitors was on
Yeah.
holiday.
That's probably
So-
where it's come from.
Whilst we were sorting out our terms and conditions, I did ask the question if the 2 lawyers were in contact with each other to discuss what we were proposing. And you said that they were.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, I know, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying it for the cameras. That's actually. Therefore, that should come as a surprise to them when
No,
they were
but I-
actually presented with the final document. It just seems bizarre.
Our solicitors got it to them and then they were on holiday. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
their delay. It's their solicitors
Very hard.
is delaying it.
We're doing all we can for this side, Helen. It's,
Yeah, of course.
it's chasing them every now and again, aren't you? Anyway, so.
I'm sorry.
Again.
I mean, the deal so-called has been done. It's not that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned the fact that we're pushing 2 months again where the expense of the barn is sat on the people of this town. And we've got to make a decision very soon on whether we're going to keep it, open it ourselves or sell it. We can't keep hanging on for if, buts and maybes. We've got to make a decision.
We've got to wait until, well, we give them, perhaps, we give them a little while longer and then we give them an ultimatum as we must have a reply by X date or something. Then we, if that isn't adhered to, we go down other routes.
Can we actually put a date on a little while longer? Because things can go on and on. We're pushing 2 months. Will it be 3
On the
months? 4
finance,
months?
I might put it on the next finance meeting agenda, which is next Monday.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Les, sorry.
Yeah, just a change of tack. You know, the vintage finger sign on Fly Road near Beecham Well and Haspel's Road. Can you give us an update on where we are?
Yeah, Graham spoke to Highways about it, so they won't do anything with it because they don't have those signs anymore. They were going to find us some letters so the men's shed could do it, but
Yeah.
they couldn't find any letters. So basically we could get one made and replace it. They were happy with that. But it won't be repaired by Highways,
Yeah, they would replace it, but it would have to be
a modern one, I think, yeah.
but they don't. If we had
They
this
wouldn't
debate,
mind us doing something with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
So that because I understood that they would do basically a fiberglass replica. So-
No, not
They
now.
won't even do that.
They won't do that. No.
Right.
No. But I'll speak to Graham tomorrow and we'll bring it up again, Graham West, and see where we were with it.
Would it be possible to perhaps speak to maybe Joe or someone at Historic England and ask
Yeah,
their,
they'll say it's outside the council, so.
but they might give some advice on
They
what
might do. Okay, yeah.
on another route.
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
The stumbling block is we can get the wood fins made for it, by swap and sheds. But is it the lettering that is the
It's the
problem?
lettering, I think, was the problem, wasn't it, Nicola? Yeah. And the Highways were going to try and get the lettering for us, but they couldn't.
I think it's a bit wooded.
So, yeah, say that would show the stuff on top.
I'll bring it up. We'll bring it up again.
Not built
Yeah.
with it, is it, to wait for sign?
Surely.
That's a shame really, because that's part of the heritage, it's the last sign of that.
We'll get that onto the financial delay.
You're calling your, but it's not ornamented.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. Anything else on our clerk's report?
No.
No. Receive it to the late or urgent items, chairman's discretion. We've got this solar farm thing, I think obviously you all seen what William put down there. This,
Can I just say that it was the letter, was it, the email this morning? Apologise, Michael. The campaign to protect rural England, CPRE. And they were asking if we as a council would join an alliance of like-minded councils directly affected by these proposals. So I just thought it'd be a good idea to bring it to this council so that we could make a decision on whether we wanted to join an alliance of like-minded councils.
Yep.
So could I make a proposal that we join the alliance of like-minded, as proposed by the CPRE regarding the proliferation of vast solar farms around Swaffham. So,
I'll second it.
There is a very minor cost, isn't there?
No,
No,
that's not obligatory.
okay.
It's a non-obligatory membership. Of
Right. £5, I think, for 2 months, £5 a month. It's not that suggestion. Davis seconded. Is there something that, John?
Can't we have a debate?
I suppose we could do this.
Well, yeah, in principle, I don't think we ought to join a organisation that has a different agenda for that we might not wholly agree with.
Well, it's whether or not we agree with being surrounded by vast acreages of solar.
Well, that's a single issue, isn't it?
That is the issue.
But we will be consulted in any case. I know it's not going to be on the local, for the local planning authority. It'll be one of these national things. Yeah, I'm sure we will be consulted
As
in
a
any
town
way.
council.
As a town council.
This would give it.
Our voice sounds better as the town council, doesn't it? But we ought to discuss the issue because some people might agree with a lot what's proposed, you know.
If we join an alliance, I mean, there were quite a number of different councils that were approached.
Yeah.
So the whole group of people together would have more weight than just a town council sitting on it. So
I would support anyone who's against wasting so much prime arable land.
Yes.
Because we need food. This country needs food. We don't have to import every mortal thing. And to stick that on, which is really good farmland, it is wrong.
And what CPRE have done is they've actually used a couple of universities, I think it's UCL, which have actually done a study to prove that they could actually meet their net zero commitment by placing the solar panels elsewhere within an urban environment.
If you read the statistics, what William sent out, we in Norfolk, I think I'm right in saying this, have already covered our percentage of renewable energies within the county. And so, you know, this would be on and above. And then if the Norwich one gets ahead, we'll be the cap solar panel capital, you know, supplying the rest of the country with the power. I'm quite happy to join this. We don't have to go along with all that, but we don't have to go along if they do other things. But just for this one, and I would suggest that we also try and contact all the other villages around that it's going to affect between here, Dereham, and whatever, and sort of see if we can have a joint protest against it between us all.
Processing.
Well, protest is a bad word, but objection, put it that way, or something, you know. You know, you've got all the other villages surrounded. I think Nexham, Pickenham, is it? Bradham, there's several of the other villages going to affect really seriously. I think if we all joined together, we'd have a far stronger voice.
I think that's what CPRE are going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, in plain English, it seems that this solar proposal is about more profit, not about net zero. It's about a major amount of profit from arable land. Therefore, I don't think we should support anything to do with it.
Well, I think that's what we're virtually saying, isn't it?
Yes.
But the way I look at it is this going to be there for 40 years. So I don't know how many people realise that once it's in place, it'll be there for 40 years. And they're saying they're going to give 11 million to the community, which spread over the whole of the area is going to be on 11 million over 40 years. It's peanuts. I know I keep saying peanuts, but it is peanuts.
Can I just say that 40-year period, things are very tough for farmers at the moment. I was speaking to William Nunn, who has got a farming background, and he was saying how debilitating actually being in farming at the moment is very, very difficult. So a lot of farmers are going to go for this because it's probably better. But after 40 years, the skills of farming will be lost. That generation will be lost. So it's never going to be farmed again because the skills won't be in the market.
So really, I think we've got two things on your proposal, and that was seconded, I believe, by was it David? Yeah.
David.
Yeah, so shall we put that to the vote? Those who say we think we should join this, the whatever it was, those in favour? Les and John, are you abstaining or not voted?
It's a good
No,
thing.
okay, that's fair enough. You got that? Yeah, those against John and Les. I think at the same time, we ought to go along with perhaps having some communication with the other villages and that it's going.
That's what CPR
Yeah, I know they're going to, but I think it wouldn't hurt us to do it as well on the local level.
In duplication of that.
Well, I think so, but this is going to be a big thing, and I think we all know where we're going with this, and I think it's going to be a big thing for this town and this area if we don't sort of try and fight it. I'm quite happy if they just turn around and say they have a small solar farm somewhere around, you know, sort of, I don't know, 50 acres or something. I think we'd all be quite happy with that, and we want the renewable energy, but we don't want it on this scale. I think that's what we're.
Every roof in Swat.
Yeah.
Give people free electric. There is an idea.
Speaking to RWE, they were saying that it's not possible, you couldn't possibly meet the demand by putting on residential property, but the research has been done to prove that you can.
Well, we'll move on. They've not looked yet. Yeah, well, we've got to start the ball rolling. Sorry. Yeah. We'll move on. The next one is report. Sorry, to consider correspondence. We've got one on, it's a late one coming on this Greg's proposal. Opening swap, I think everybody knows about it there. Do you want to?
You all read it, it went out, but send it on this afternoon.
He's made some suggestions what we ought to do as a council. I don't know if everybody's read all that. Graham.
There's a lot of proposals in there, Paul, that some you could argue have sense, but essentially what the man is trying to do is to say that you have to decide who's worthy to come into the town, who's good enough to come into the town, and making it a council decision as opposed to a business decision. And it seems to me that you could almost argue that's almost like communism. That you know, as I said, I've got nothing for or against Greg's, but I do think we have to be very careful about going down that route, because I don't think it'll go anywhere. Because I think when you get to Brecon, the Norfolk County Council, they're not going to be responsible for who opens a business in our town. However, with that gentleman, Carl Chappell, I think on a personal level, I wouldn't mind meeting with him just to really thrash out what the heck he's getting at, because there's more to that than is obvious in that letter.
Can I just say that I think these, what was it that he started a question or a question? What did he?
Yeah, I know. Petition.
These petitions are an attempt to undermine the democratic process. Is what they are.
No.
We operate within a free market economy, and it's a question of competition. And the strong will survive, the weak will won't.
Yeah, I think we've done all we can, and we support our local businesses. That's the best way we can support them, just to keep supporting our local businesses.
So would you like me to, do you want me to see if a couple of councillors would like to
Oh,
meet
you know,
him?
I'm happy to meet with him, just to thrash out our answer to it. Because
It's worthwhile, but I can't think.
But what worries me is that we're going to give the answer just around this table tonight. And I think there's more to consider than just the simple answer around this table tonight. There is an issue, but I don't believe that's our prerogative to decide who opens a business in the
Not
town.
in our level of.
Listen, that's not the way that the planning process works anyway.
No, it isn't.
I mean, it had got a retail outlet already there, so there was no change of use required, was there? Could I say on a more positive note, I like the idea of the quarterly nostalgic market day, and that's tie in.
I think that's something we've been looking at.
I think Leanne's got all that in, she's been talking about, what was it? Farmers markets and things, yeah.
So that might help.
Yeah.
I think Les wanted to come in then.
Yeah, just quickly, I was going to say what we need is some planning policy, ideally in the new local plan under health against to legislate against junk food.
I agree.
Because that's what all the debate's about. It's not competition and
But then you could
new
apply the same
business.
to supermarkets, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Where do you stop?
yeah, but, excuse me, Paul, the point of this meeting was not actually to talk about Greg's, but there was a proposal about this, whatever the word was.
I just said that.
Yeah,
That
I
could
know
be
you did.
referred to the-
I know that, but that would be a thing that I would like to find out more about.
Yeah.
And get an understanding of. I think that's an excellent idea. Out of that letter, that is an excellent idea.
Positive. And it's nice to involve the local business.
So should I organise a meeting with you and maybe
Yeah, I'm
Leanne
happy
as
to meet,
the
yeah.
market lead?
I'm happy to meet.
Paul?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, whatever.
When have we
Yeah.
got the next sort of open spaces type meeting?
November.
Oh, right.
I was just going to add to that. One of the things he puts in in that letter is the fact that they should stop deliveries to him at certain times, only allow him to have certain times when he can accept deliveries. You can't do that for one business. If you've done that, you'd have to have a blanket thing right across the town.
Never work.
You can't, just can't dictate that. Yeah, it just can't do that for one. But if you wanted to do that, you'd have to do it across the whole town.
Wish you would.
Well, maybe it's something you want to bring up at another time.
Probably that.
But anyway, that's it. So we'll meet up with him and see what he's got to say.
Yeah, quite
Go from
happy
there.
to.
Okay.
Quite happy to.
Anything else on correspondence? No. You see the Deputy Clerk Market Town Conference.
So Paul and Leanne went to a conference on Monday and Leanne sent you a report. Did you want to add to that, Paul?
No, it was very interesting. There was all the market towns across the county were represented at that meeting, and we got a lot of facts given to us. And the thing was to try and sort of join up on some of the thinking over it, and what's happening across the town. And there was lots of good ideas come out of it, and other people said how they run their markets and do things across the board. It was very interesting. I think there was a lot of good information, and I hope Leanne's taken some notes from it and really sort of something will happen with it. And one of the things was diverse from it and having markets, different types of markets, and trying to draw the businesses in to the markets as well, as not being them and us sort of thing, or them and the market or whatever. It's joining thinking together to do things, across the board sort of thing.
That's exactly what this chap's just suggested, hasn't it? So.
Well, in a way, yeah, but not in the way he's putting it, but
But that's a positive.
Yeah, there is a basis there to
Yeah.
take things forward.
Anybody got any comments on that? No. Obviously, you see the report. I think Leanne's report is a lot more details than I've given it, but it was very interesting. Discuss and consider meeting dates and times for 25 next year. In other words,
You want me to pull them up?
does everyone want to see? Yeah, well, Mark, we're over time, aren't we?
Can I say how much appreciate you getting those out so quickly? Because it does help people work on it and planning around. Yeah.
So we put the finance was questionable. We put 1 PM or 6:30 PM. So that's guys to decide.
Yeah, I've had comments about that not, being dinner time, a lot of people can't get there, so depending on what other people think, but I think it might be an idea to move the finance to an evening meeting. Yeah, but I don't know if other people would think that.
I've got no problem with it, except for, because we're discussing finance, how does it affect the town hall budget? By moving it to an evening.
Well, obviously there'd be time in there.
I'm sorry, this is a realist.
No, that's true.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And if it's going to cost a hell of a lot more money to put it in the evening, then
I personally like meetings in the day. I hate night meetings.
Well, you don't work.
Well, anyway, when,
Finance for me is extremely important. Every town councillor should be at a finance meeting.
Yep.
I work, so full time, daytime's
It's
very
only 4.
difficult.
There's only
Yeah, so
we're happy to be here.
to step out too many times. is not easy.
So we'll move them to 6:30 and everything else is, okay.
We can take, it won't actually cost us physically, but it might cost us a little bit of staff time, which they take in lieu.
Do you want to go for 6 PM and then we save half an hour? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you could move all the
You
council
could be happy
meetings to
with that,
6
Wendy?
PM, or is that too early for people?
It is for me, but
Fair
for the
enough.
finance, I could probably make it, but not every meeting, because I finish.
No,
work
it would only
at
be
6.
only for the finance. We're not
Yeah,
changing anything to.
So
yeah.
we just stick to 6:30 throughout then, or what,
Yeah.
then it's easier, 6:30.
Yeah, 6:30, everybody happy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the others, similar, what's happening with all the others? H kind, TTRS, H kind contract,
So this came from Assets and Open Spaces meeting. This will come, so this is Swan's Nest. It will come from the 106 money from Swan's Nest. And then there's a little bit from the, which we've got in the grounds maintenance budget. But because it was over £1,000, it just had to go to full council, but it was approved that Assets and Open Spaces for an extra hedge cut.
yeah, I think it's about 200 over what we
Yeah.
allowed, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it's a council that either agree or chuck it out.
Question.
Yeah.
This company, what they called, is this the same one that was our grave digger at one point?
Don't
Will,
think
Will
so.
Cunningham?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is him.
Yeah.
How to put this? There's a little bit of history because he actually left a job, grave digging, and decided he was worth far more money during that job than any other time. And we decided that we would not then have a designated grave digger in our cemetery. We opened it out to everyone. So I don't know, is this man reliable?
But he's been doing our grass cutting this
Yeah.
year and he's doing a really good job.
Really
He
good
worked
job.
for the outside team.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
pointing out that he was our grave digger.
Yeah.
This is personal reasons because he was digging my late mother's grave at the time and decided he's got a few quid, I'll have a bit more money. And he actually tried to treble the cost. And in fact, the undertaker and the groundsman, our groundspeople, ended up digging the grave because he wanted more money. So I don't know. I haven't looked at this.
The outside team have been working really well with him and he's doing a good job and we're happy with his work so far.
As long as Graham's happy,
Yeah,
then
no,
it's fine with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll propose we accept it. Would somebody like to second it?
No.
Yeah. John,
Put me down as abstention.
well, we have a vote, we better have a vote, let's just show how accepting because it is finance. Yeah, everybody and Stuart is abstaining, okay? Nothing else on that one. Discuss and consider parish partnership.
Any projects for the parish partnerships till the 6th of December. So I was just putting it on here for you to think about and maybe we can bring it up at next week in finance meeting.
Can I lead off with one? We all know about the buses on Norwich Road when we turned down, what the developers were told that as part of their remit or conditions that they had to put in. We said, well, there wasn't any buses. But since then, the buses routes had changed and buses do go down there now. And I noticed the other day, look at my Brighton Council, they might be able to tell me I'm right or wrong. I believe they've done away with, and the other condition was on there for the island.
That's gone, isn't it?
I think they've totally chucked that out now, haven't they?
That was, sorry. Yeah, that-
Sorry,
that-
yeah, well, no, it shouldn't, but.
That was taken out some time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we talk to the developers, whether they would, instead of having the cost of putting the island in, if they
No,
would.
I spoke to developers 3 years ago. You minuted that you didn't want bus stops. They were going to
Yeah.
put them in. The bus stops were there.
Yeah.
You said
So I
no to
thought-
bus stops. So now, do you want to? So if you want them now, they would put them in. Now you said no, and now do you want them basically? But you have to fund them yourself, which would be
I just
50-50.
wonder if they might just consider, give it a little bit.
And they said no.
Okay.
They made that
Yes,
decision.
it was just a thought.
Yeah.
In the parish partnership wouldn't cover that, would it? It's only up to,
50-50.
yeah,
So you'd pay and then you,
yeah, and we haven't got the,
That'd be quite expensive, wouldn't they?
you're talking probably what, 10,000?
I don't know, I'd have to get quotes. You can't have sides in them. That's all highways have said.
Yeah. Can we grovel?
I tried. Sent me the minutes and the email that the previous clerk sent. I looked at the minutes, he sent me the email saying basically no.
Anybody else got any thoughts on it
I
or?
remember that
I
one.
mean, I can get some quotes for next week at the finance meeting. I just wanted you to think about it for
I
Monday.
don't think it's a lot of fun because we haven't got the money to do it.
So no parish partnership this year.
So unless anybody's got, can we leave it open until the finance or do you need
No,
to?
no, you've got to the 6th of December.
Put your thinking caps on. If there's anything you think is needed in the town. And also there's a bit of money in the town estate funds for town improvements as well around the town. So that is something that's there, that is set there and it keeps building up and building up. And there's a reasonable sum of money there that can be used for town improvement. So if you know something you want, you know, in the past I've done seats, bins and all this sort of thing.
It's got to be the centre of the town.
It's got to be something in the centre.
Something that could be linked in later on the agenda.
Well, you know, I'm just saying that there's another option for some finance there.
Pavements jet wash down, doing what?
Maybe.
That'll help reduce the wings that drain into cracks. Wash it all out if it's done properly.
Yeah. A good town centre clean-up.
Yeah.
Possible, is it?
Part of your next bit.
Yeah, next.
Yeah.
agenda.
Sorry, I've jumped whatever.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Would you like me to see if Graham can get a quote to see how much it would cost for someone to jet wash
Yeah.
the pavements?
Yeah.
Do you want to come in that, what pavement, whereabouts you want it done or what? Is it just?
Payments, take away somebody on the leaves and that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody happy with that? You go down that route and see what.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd have to get approval for them for the trustees that it needs to have criteria, but I think it would. You received that update from Community Engagement Officer.
No, but you've got,
Sorry, what was this?
implement volunteer group to weed and tidy.
Oh, we missed that. Yeah, so obviously we've had Caroline, we haven't had anything official from her, have we?
No, she's just not here.
She's just not here, so we don't know.
I did message her and ask her if she wouldn't mind not being the lead because she's going to be off ill for a considerable amount of time on Christmas. She said that's fine. So look, she can help that late.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm in the interim, I'm quite happy to do that because, as I said, that ties in with what I'm talking to Phoebe about.
Yeah.
A little litter pick and gaggle and all that sort of thing. So, I'm happy to do that. If she wants to come back and do it at some point, then I'm quite happy to let her. But
Yeah, well, you can do it as a joint thing between the two.
yeah, we could do, yeah.
right, okay, thank you, Graham. So I'll put Graham down as that.
Yeah.
No arguments on that. I'll go back to where I was. Community Engagement Officer. Whoever that is. Yeah, Phoebe, sorry.
I trust you all read up my lovely reports. Do you have any questions on it at all?
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Did you email it?
We went out with the agenda.
Oh, right, no, so I haven't seen any of that. Sorry, I just got it.
is anyone that did see it have any questions?
It's a quarterly report. Do you like to set that?
Yeah, just a sort of update of projects and
Yeah.
events, things like
Yeah.
that. On the bottom, there was a bit more information about the councillor surgeries, as I know you wanted a bit more meat on the bones on that. So if
She's here.
I'm here,
Well,
if you want to
answer
ask me any questions, I can read what was on the bottom of that so you are aware.
No, ignore me.
Really tiny.
I'll come back to you.
Okay. So the Council Surgeries Initiative is a community-focused programme where local councils regularly visit key venues in the town to meet with residents. These sessions provide a platform for residents to discuss local issues, share ideas and voice concerns directly with their elected representatives. The aim is to create an accessible, informal setting where councillors can listen to the community's needs, offer support and gather feedback on matters relevant to the council. this initiative helps bridge the gap between the council and the community. So I know we have Saturday, you know, we have 2 or 3 councillors that regularly attend that, which is great. So it's not instead of that, it's as well as that. And it's just about accessing different pockets of our community that we might not be able to be in touch with. So there'll be people, demographics in our community that can't come to the market on a Saturday or might work on a Saturday, might not feel comfortable in a busy setting. You know, we're all talking, you know, it's World Mental Health Day tomorrow. They might not feel comfortable with that. So it's about placing ourselves or yourselves in those environments to have conversations and then feedback to us so we can.
You haven't sort of got any sort of idea what days or?
Well, when it was submitted last time, it was submitted with dates, venues, and sort of what it was about. You don't have to do it, but you wanted some more information, so there is some more information.
Anybody got comments on it? Thoughts?
Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
I was just hoping that, I looked at it, it sounds a good idea, but maybe the different venues might be a bit too much.
Okay.
I mean, if you just give us an idea, a rough idea of the one venue or 2 venues, because as you said, people might not like when the market's busy, might not like going to the market. But if you're choosing a cafe, odds on they're going to be busy.
We also said in here.
We said here, we said the library, technically not in a very busy place. You know, it's just, say for example, Margaret's, if you go there, you know, you are going to be tapping into young families because a lot of young families take their kids there to play on the play area. You also got the older generation that meet there to knit, natter and whatever they do. So you're just accessing more people. You know, I don't think there's any harm in trying it, but
No, it's a good idea.
you know,
We could use the barn. We could have a room that we could book somewhere at the barn and have a different day there.
and I know that we have 2 or 3 councillors that regularly do the Saturday, but it would be nice as well if other people were able to. So maybe not just having it on a Saturday might allow other people to
So
do it as well, you know.
You visualise about two councillors at a time,
Yeah.
a couple of councillors each time.
And we, as the staff, we would be happy to come as and when you felt like that was necessary. And I would provide you with a form or something so that you, if you wanted, could feed issues back. You know, you give it to us and then we can do it. We, you know,
I'm
just
quite happy to do it.
I think that the library would possibly be ideal.
Yeah.
At least it's warm.
Yeah.
And easily accessible because it's middle of the town.
It's very central, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to work on the venues. If you want, you know, we can tweak that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's your choice.
So just a question to you, Stephen. If you go, if you think of Margaret's, for example, if I've got to meet people, I always meet them in Margaret's, as you know. The library isn't the kind of a place where I think a huge amount of people visit, whereas Margaret's is central.
Yeah.
For example, I would just use Margaret's as an example. It's central. It's got facilities. You can get a cup of coffee and things like that.
And they were, when I went to speak to them, they were really happy with the idea of it. But also, I think as well, you're then going to be able to speak to people that maybe don't even realise that you're there.
Yeah.
They've not planned to come see you. They're just there doing their thing. They think, oh, actually, I might just go and say something about this thing that's bothering me or something that concerns me. And then we can try our best to do what we can do.
And the quieter place could be in here.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously the advertising of it will be the big thing. You make sure it gets out there that what we, where and when each time.
I think it'd be a good idea to go to the newsletter because a lot of older people. Social media.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do
I
it.
think you said Margaret's.
Yeah.
Say here.
Yeah.
Rather than having it there, possibly there.
Shall we give it a try for a few months?
Yeah, give it a try.
Sorry, Les, did you want to say something? Sorry, I'm
Quickly, when you look at a venue, a private or a cafe, do you go in and ask them whether they're happy to have that? And have you had anyone say no? We don't. So they don't mind somebody camping out for a couple of hours.
No, the ones that were all on here that I came through to the last full council, I'd been around to all of them and they'd all said, that sounds brilliant. We'd love that. I don't think it's going to be particularly intrusive. I don't think you're not going to have hundreds of people flocking in. You might just have a handful of people that might already be there accessing the facilities anyway.
Yeah.
But they were all happy. So
did you go to the Green Parrot?
I did, and I gave them the information, but they didn't communicate. So,
but you wouldn't worry about if you would only use a venue if they had positively come back and said.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we want them to, want it to be suitable for them.
Yeah.
And so with Margaret's, and we're talking about Margaret's a lot, they said, could you avoid this, this and this? And I said, yeah, that's fine. And then that was put into the plan. So, and it doesn't have to be just those that are on the list.
No.
We could, as long as we all work together.
Yeah. John, he's got, hasn't he? Jacob
He did.
uses the library, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For surgeries. I
Yeah.
wonder what is, I don't know if you.
Well, I've done a couple with Jacob, so,
Yeah.
they're usually fairly positive.
I spoke to the library manager who said that it was really good.
Yeah.
People
And they have
turn up to it, do they?
Apparently so.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what the library manager said. Yeah.
Yeah.
That they do have a few people come in and it's
Yeah.
positively
They got
received.
trolley facility. They do.
A little trolley, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
They could
I
take
assume
down.
we're all in favour of giving it a try.
If I get Phoebe to send it round, you can put your
Yeah.
names down to some
Yeah,
dates
quite
if you're
happy.
interested. And there's no pressure. But if you just,
No,
Well,
we're trying
all
it.
the two, you can have a choice.
yeah, it'd be good to have a mix.
It would be good to have mix. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can't say we haven't.
Yeah.
The other thing on the bottom of my report was about the videos, which I know again we've said no to before. But I do think it would be good for us to work on our transparency in the way that we communicate with our community and talk about issues. For example, the under eights at the rec. I think we should try and address that. I know we've done a formal statement, but I think that if we had a nice video that I can script where we actually address what we're planning on doing, how long that might take, and then we can promote that on all our different platforms. I do think that people would actually hear what we're trying to say rather than when we put up these big texts, blogs as such. It's not super accessible for lots of our community. So I think we should trial different ways that we can share our information. So
All the better.
and I would, if you were nervous about it, I could script it or we could. Yeah, I do think we should work on different ways that we can put what we're doing out there.
Explain to Karen.
Yeah. I've got you booked in for, I've spoken to Steph about this and she was keen to do it.
Yeah.
It might not be for everyone, but Lindsay, I think you'd be really great at it as well, just to kind of share what we're doing, because I think we.
Try and inform people of
Yeah.
What we
council
started
is. Instead
doing,
of people say, oh, if something goes wrong, it's the council.
Exactly, I think just
And that covers everything, but it's not the way
transparency.
this council's the responsibility.
what we've started doing a couple of days before the agenda goes out, and everyone knows the agenda goes out and it can be pretty boring and so what we do a couple of days before the meeting now, we send out a little news item. It goes on social media saying, remember, it's a full council meeting and these are the items that could be that would be of interest. So it's simpler and people can see it, and then we might get more public engaging.
Well, just think, I do think that the element of transparency that Phoebe's raising is something that's crucial, really, because if you speak to people in the town, the lack of transparency over time of the council is something that really has sort of irritated a lot of people.
That's what we're trying to.
I know exactly.
Change, aren't we?
That's why we speak to Phoebe
Yeah, I
about.
think it's
It's
important.
very important to communicate.
Yeah.
We need the profile of council.
You must,
Right,
you've
yeah.
got to.
We all want good for the community, so I think it's just promote that as much as we can and speak to people as much as we can.
And encouraging people to come into council meetings and data meetings as
Yeah.
well. Like
So I think-
we're discussing Brexit.
So I don't think we do promote us, when we do something that's good, I don't think we promote it enough sometimes.
Sometimes, I think, yeah,
I think, there are times when we do things and,
Phoebe does, she's doing.
yeah, I know she
it.
does, they're a lot better than it was, but
Yeah,
the one time it was very,
We've done a post for the council cemetery signs.
yeah, try and get as much.
Yeah.
Trying to get that out there. That'll go in the newsletter. We're going to do another one next week for Annie's garden. Just things.
Yeah.
John and then it's
Question,
close.
How many people are watching us tonight? You guys? Four.
Low to the floor. Right, thanks for
Not
that.
very good, is it, really?
Review and adopt town council policies. We've got the CCTV one, surveillance policy.
So you've all had copies.
Yeah.
We've put on them.
Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming it's straight off of the, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And the other two, there's no changes, they've just been reviewed again.
You get a complaints policy procedure and the safeguarding policy.
Before, yeah.
Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Can I just add one other one in, and could people have a look at their publicity, no, I don't know what you call it, with who can talk to the press and not, because we've got the press here tonight, and you're welcome, I'm sure they've picked up a lot of things that you've said tonight, but really the policy on there is that any information going out to the press goes out through the clerk or the mayor. There has been a couple of breaches of that lately, so yes. So, yeah, I'm not going to go any deeper in that, but I just think, please look at that policy and adhere to it, because we don't want, because if you say something outside of this meeting, that whoever you're speaking to will think you're saying it for the council. You're not, you could say you're saying it as Paul Darby. If I say I'm saying it as Councillor Paul Darby, that's doing it for the council. If I say I'm saying something for Paul Darby, that is my own personal view.
Yeah.
And I think, we need to adhere to that a bit more. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, that's fine.
No?
Oh, can I just pick you up on that?
Yeah, go on.
Right, you refer to yourself as Paul Darby too, but press would put you down as Paul Darby, Mayor of Swaffham. It doesn't work. Look, the first way I understood it is that it's either you or Helen who has give out any formal press report.
Yeah, well, I was just using that.
We can just leave that. You don't need any more examples.
Just trying to give an example.
We all understand.
Yeah, okay, but I don't want to go into it too deep, but I think, it just needed airing, John.
Yeah, I think I take the principle that individual councillors can't speak on behalf of the council, but individual councillors can give their opinions to anyone. Their own personal opinions.
As John, as your own personal statement, so long as you make that clear, that it's your personal statement, it's not coming from
View
the
of the
council.
council.
Yeah, but then members of parliament can state their views.
They have no law.
Councillors probably can. I mean, there's no difference, is there? I would say that I would never represent myself as representing the council if I said anything.
Yeah, but anyway, I've aired it, so it's just a case of airing it. I think it's important. Right, we go on to the finance. To receive receipts for September 24. Any comments on the receipts for?
The finance bit. I've got a question, strangely enough.
Yeah.
You know I'm mean, I can't.
Yeah, go on.
Right, I'll quickly go through it if I can. Right. Healthmatic, £2,988 including the VAT. What did we buy?
We haven't yet, it's a survey for the toilet doors at the rec. So we have to pay 50% and then they'll come out surveying for the toilet doors.
Survey.
But yeah, survey to say how they're going to fit them, etc.
Okay, it's kind of a lot of money for someone to tell us what we.
Well, no, it's not.
No, that's all. I just wondered. Right, football counter,
Yeah, so
$5 grand, £3
yeah,
grand.
we straight away get that back. Unfortunately,
We do claim.
yeah,
that
I've got the
back. Yeah.
form to go, but I have to prove it's been paid before we get it back. But yeah, no, the form is ready to go. As soon as it's gone on the bank, it will be in. Don't worry.
Sue's News. There's 2 entries for Sue's News, which I know one will be rental. Is the other one electricity?
Yes.
Can you kindly get someone to actually say
Yeah.
electricity is that much, rentals that
Yeah.
much? Because when we're reading this and anyone else can be looking, I think, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, Rosemary Nash, which I believe is allotments.
Yeah.
Well, there's 17 checks.
Yes. That's for the one large allotment that has the ponies on.
For 17 checks?
Yes, it should have come in as one invoice. It was one check. It was just invoices a second for each plot. but it was one check.
I understand that, but it is literally 17 lines to say, and I'm thinking, well, why? Because with 17 lots of bank charge you have to pay.
No, it's no,
Just
it's
one check.
check.
One check total amount,
Yeah.
thank you. And then I know a little bit about this one, right, markets. My friend Thompson, who puts the rock stall on there, yep. He's put down as gazebo hire and electricity. Well, he's got his own generator and he's got his own stall. Is that just not someone not actually writing rent?
No, I don't think so. If that's what it's done, I'll have to check, but that's what we've got on the invoice and that's what he paid. So I thought he would question that if.
Why would, when he tows his sweet trailer, puts it on the market, why would he hire a gazebo?
I don't know.
This is just, it is just,
I'll check it, but.
yeah. Okay, you can do it every time. No, I think that is it.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? No. No. Then I should have somebody propose that we accept the receipts for. Secondly.
Second it.
All those in favour? Yeah, unanimous. Right, there we go on to approve the payments for accounts for October 24. October. Is that right?
I think that's what he's just done, but we just questioned that as well, haven't we?
Yeah,
Payments,
oh,
no.
right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right, yes. That was the question, so never mind.
Yeah, he's all in way.
Oh, I see, yeah, well, it's, okay, so it's 723 is the bank recognition up to date of the agenda, so anything on that? No, everybody happy?
We all agree the bank reconciliation, you've got to vote on that
Yeah.
one. I'll propose it, someone second it, please vote, because the internal auditor gets upset with that
Yeah,
one.
sorry.
Strangely enough.
Everybody happy?
Lindsay, second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, the last thing on the agenda is to agree the date of the next meeting, which is the 13th of November, 24. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
There's nothing below the line that I know of. So thank you, and thank you for all the sent. And it's the mayor from Stirling Market. Thank you very much for coming. We'll put you